a few questions were shared on the community. Someone says, what makes this project different from others? And one second. What makes this project different from others? And how will this project help ordinary people become more financially independent? Okay. Yeah, so what makes this project different from others? I would like to know what you, well, when you mean others, I'll probably think you're referring to, well, other DeFi protocols. So like I mentioned, what we've built here, right, is more advanced than existing layer one protocols. It's just a way of allowing people to earn better yields. So how this will help the everyday person become much more financially independent is that, say, for example, now, most DeFi layer one protocols, right, or layer one DeFi protocols have very low yields at this time because the market is not so, it's not like very bullish at the moment, right? So they have like low yields now because of the market conditions. But advanced layer two solutions, right, will have way higher yields at this time. You can see some of them might be at maybe 3%, lower. The layer one infrastructure might just be at 3% or 2%, but layer twos might be at 10% or 12%. So this actually makes it better for the individual, you know, or for the ordinary person to be financially independent. Yeah. So the second question is barriers to innovation and invention is adaptability and ease of use. Okay. Which layer two blockchains really solve the purpose, and how can Xend motivate us to see the future of banking, and what lies ahead? Up and coming. Okay. What lies ahead and upcoming? Okay. Well, basically, when it comes to layer two blockchains, I mean, you are looking at things like Polygon, right? So it's a layer two scaling solution that has done really well. It scales, it's a layer two where Ethereum is actually the layer one. So Polygon is a go-to blockchain when you're looking at layer two scaling solutions. They've done really well, right? They're saying, what do they say? How will it make it easy to use? Well, basically what we're doing to make things easy to use, because we understand that these systems can be very complex. There are so many tools. So one of the things we're doing at Xend Finance is actually building out systems like a mobile application, right? Which we're launching sometime next month. So we have our mobile application that makes it very easy for people who don't even have crypto, right? You have your local currency, right? You can just put in your local currency, and then you have access to these layer two protocols, and you can just earn interest. You don't really need to understand the complexity behind it. Yeah, so we've been able to do all that, and we'll be launching that very soon. Someone says, I hear layer two solve TPS product, transaction per second problem, and scaling problem. My question is, how much faster is layer two compared to ground level layer? No, so it's really, really fast, right? So for example, I think, okay, if we look at Ethereum, for example, when you're looking at finality, right, chain finality, I think Ethereum blocks are confirmed in, I think about 10 minutes, or I think about, yeah, I think about 3 minutes or so, right? When you're looking at something like Polygon, it happens in seconds. And what Polygon really does is it still, you know, reconciles with Ethereum blockchain, but at a later block, you know, so things actually happen really fast. And Polygon probably does, I think, about 60-something thousand transactions per second, right? And for Ethereum, I mean, it's really low. You know, I'm still trying to remember the overall number of Ethereum transactions per second, but I know that it's really, really small compared to what we have Polygon doing, right? So I think Ethereum might be in the hundreds or so, or yeah, I'll still have to confirm that number, but you can just check out the particular number. I know Polygon does thousands of transactions per second. Yeah, but there are other layer one solutions though that are actually performing really well, like Solana. is doing extremely well. You know, I think Solana does over 100,000 transactions per second, and it's layer 1. But it's not really, layer 2s are not necessarily always faster than all layer 1s. It depends on the blockchain where the layer 2 was deployed, right? So you realize that some layer 2 solutions, right, maybe on Ethereum blockchain might still be slower than maybe something like Solana. Okay, so yeah. Now, another question is, great to read about the speed at which Xend is building. More than 10 products in 6 months is not an easy feat. It's no easy feat. My question is, Xend is currently focusing a lot of efforts in Africa. May I know if there are any plans to go global? Thank you. Yeah, so this was asked by Crypto Derek. Yeah, so yes, basically what we're doing is not really putting energy in Africa alone, right? But what we're actually doing is our systems actually cater for everyone anywhere in the world. For example, our layer 2 solutions, right? Our layer 2 DeFi solutions actually can be accessed by anybody anywhere in the world. We just announced a hackathon, which is the current session we're having is for the hackathon. We realize that this hackathon is not just for people in Africa, but of course we're from Africa, and the blockchain has a lot of value to people here, really a lot of value to people here. So what we're doing is we're encouraging people here to build out solutions, you know, for the world. We're also encouraging the world to leverage blockchain, you know, to be able to also profess solutions for people here. So what we're doing actually is we're leveraging the blockchain, solving problems here, and of course, extending it to the world. But our systems are not limited to people in Africa. We have, you know, thousands of users from different parts of the world, okay? And one of the things we're even doing to even make this much more open, like I mentioned, is after launch, when we launch our layer 2 DeFi solutions, right, anybody can access them from anywhere. You don't need to be in Nigeria, you don't need to be in Ghana or any African country. You can be in the US. We already even have, you know, people who are fund managers in different parts of the world who are waiting for this solution. Okay, so yeah, we're not limited to Africa. Someone says, very interesting to learn about the thinking behind the products Xend is building, with splitting users' funds across different chains and different layer 1s. There are chances of being hit by hacks. Yeah, any plans to integrate insurance? Very good. Yeah, so we've already integrated insurance. We have a partnership with Tidal Finance. And yeah, we have like an announcement going out next week on, you know, a new feature we are actually deploying with Tidal. It's called like a guarantor pool. So the idea is that people can actually go buy insurance now, right? On Tidal Finance. You can go to Tidal Finance, you have you see like Xend, you can buy cover. So what happens is anytime you're investing in Xend Finance, right, you just go to Tidal and buy insurance. We are going to still make it very user-friendly. So people from our interface can just buy the insurance, right? You just buy the insurance, you're covering your assets. Okay, so Xend Finance actually even gave out, and we bought $1 million worth of insurance coverage for our platform, right? So we already have people on our platform currently have insurance coverage on all assets on this Xend Finance platform currently. But people who are joining, people who are purchasing or who are saving or investing in Xend Finance should actually go buy insurance to cover their assets. And you can get that from Tidal. So the integration is done. Someone says, what are the advantages of layer 2 over layer 1? Okay, yeah, so layer 1 DeFi, right? They're just systems that exist on their own. And because they exist on their own, they're not actually composed of other systems. What happens is that it makes it difficult for them to bear or earn very high yields, right? But layer 2 solutions, layer 2 DeFi solutions, right, like Xend Finance, what we're doing is we're aggregating these layer 1 protocols in ways that are actually very brilliant, that they can earn higher yields, right, for the users or for the investors. But it doesn't mean that the layer 1 solutions are useless, no, because the layer 2s won't even exist without the layer 1s, okay? So what we've done is we're actually building on the layer 1 solutions, but optimizing their operations in such a way that, it's actually really, really interesting, or it helps the investors to earn higher yields. Yeah. Well, I have another question. Someone says, if the borrower in a flash loan defaults, what happens? So you can't default, right? Yeah. So the thing about flash loans, that's you can just take time to study flash loans. So flash loans are sort of loans, right? That everything occurs in one particular block. So it's not like you're borrowing and you won't pay back. It's actually a really interesting system. I think it was first introduced by Aave. I think it was first introduced by Aave on Ethereum blockchain, right? So you can borrow everything. You don't need to put in any collateral, but everything, all the transactions will end in one block. So it's not like you borrow the money and then pay back later. No, you can't do that with flash loans. Okay, so everything, and so you cannot default on the loan. And the beautiful thing about the loans, really, or this whole system, is that it's managed by smart contracts. So it's not like a situation where someone just wakes up and is like, hi, I'm going to borrow this money and I won't pay it back. It's not possible. It doesn't exist, right? So that's that with the loans. Another person says, as an investor, how can I consider the risk associated with DeFi protocols? And how can Xend help in this case? Okay, yeah, so the risks involved in DeFi protocols, I'll mention them again. One is DeFi protocols are open to, they have security vulnerabilities, they're open to hacks, right? But because they're open to hacks, what projects now do is before the protocols even go live, they undergo multiple audits. So before you actually invest or save in any DeFi protocol or use any DeFi protocol, always check, has this project been audited at all, right? It helps. So if that project has been audited, you're rest assured that, okay, at least there's a form of security. The next thing to check is there any insurance cover for this project? Because it's always great where you want to invest or save, and then you can always buy insurance. So in case anything happens to your money, you can retrieve it from the insurance project, right? So these are the two things I will encourage you to do. Check if it's been audited and check if it's insured. So how Xend can actually help with this is, for our own protocol, we ensure that our protocols are audited. Auditing takes time, it costs money, but we are willing to wait. We are willing to spend the resources required to ensure that we audit our projects properly, not just by one auditor, but by multiple auditors. It helps to have different views. So we also have insurance, right? So like I mentioned previously, we have Tidal insurance that you can actually go to the Tidal platform, Tidal Finance, Tidal of Finance. You can go there, purchase insurance, for Xend, before you even come and save currently on Xend Finance. So you realize that your money, your system or your savings and everything are actually covered. Someone says, okay, Liam, what's the story behind Xend Finance? What's your story actually? How far have you come and how do you feel? Okay, yeah, so, well, I mean, I have limited time, but yeah, so Xend Finance really came about. We started building it out last year. It's been over a year since we worked on Xend Finance, right? That's the first version of Xend Finance. So it started at the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic, really. That's basically, we realized that at the time, having the Naira, we're based in Nigeria, right? So having the Nigerian Naira was really not suitable anymore, for us, because there was constant devaluation. Even now, the currency isn't so great. It's getting worse, So at the time, we realized that our savings were actually depleting, okay? So we had to find a way to give people access to invest in the international money market, earn very high yields, and also protect them against devaluations and then inflation. So at that time, personally, I belong to like cooperatives and all that here. So I realized that, okay, if there was a way to help these guys out, it really, help the everyday man solve this problem with devaluation. So I started looking into systems that were not the traditional financial systems, which is DeFi, okay? And also being a blockchain engineer, it was quite easier to analyze multiple protocols to see what we had to build. Okay, so when we started building it, I mean, we had our first version. I realized that it was a huge deal. You know, it was something that a lot of people really wanted. And then we now decided to improve on it, which is where we are today. Because we realized that some of the hurdles people had was, okay, one, how do they gain access to your protocol when they don't understand the blockchain? And that is why we started building out even our SDK and started building out our mobile app. So people that don't even understand blockchain can always just use their Nigerian Naira, for example. And as we are going to be supporting other currencies, maybe like their US dollar and all that, just deposit it into our protocol and then they start earning yields. And then, so I think that should be all. I mean, we had a lot of questions. So thank you everyone for really joining this session. And the thing is, for the next session, we're going to be talking about, you know, working with the Xend Finance SDK. So I'll also use this opportunity to encourage developers, you know, hackers, everybody, check out our hackathon website, register, and then start building something, start building an application on the Xend Finance protocol and join our Telegram developer community. There you can ask any question, any technical question, anything about the hackathon, and we'll answer. All right, guys, and also submit your ideas there's a place that says hackathon ideas. So you can go there, submit your ideas on the Dora Hacks website. And then, because people have already submitted, people have already started voting for those ideas, right? So the earlier you submit, even if your project is not complete yet, you can just go submit your idea while you continuously work on the project. Yeah, so go to the link that says ideas, hackathon ideas, submit your ideas there, go to apply grant, submit it, and then get your friends, get people to vote on those ideas for you. Thank you. All right, guys, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.